Bonjour les amis, j'espère que vous allez bien.
Je suis avec Alex aujourd'hui.
And today we are going to work on mastering French pronunciation. So be ready.
So now Alex is gonna be with you, and in just a moment I will be back with you. So stay with us.
Before we start, let's go over a little introduction. Correct pronunciation in French is essential to avoid misunderstandings and embarrassing situations. So in this lesson, we will provide you with the keys to unlock the secrets of perfect French pronunciation. So we are going to start first with the vowels, okay? We're going to learn how to pronounce French vowels correctly, including nasal sounds. So the I is going to be pronounced I, okay? For example, il for he and vie for life. Next we have e, the E sound. For example, blé or été. E. Next is the E sound, not the E, the E sound. In baleine, baleine. All right? The fourth one is the A sound, which is A. A. For example, table, table, table. The fifth one is the OR sound, or. For example, corps, corps, bord, bord. The following sound is the O sound, O. Here we can use do, do, which means back, or O, O, for examples. And what's so funny about the word water, E-A-U, is that it makes the O sound without the letter O. So French doesn't always make sense, but that's why we love it. Alright, next we have the OU sound, described as an U. So for example, we have the word roux, roux. Or we have the word vous, vous. Repeat after me. Roux and vous. Ou. Okay, good job. Keep going. We're almost there. The next one is the U sound. Okay, so tu in U, so tu, U, not ou like the previous one, U. Okay, so tu or têtu, têtu, which means stubborn en français. Next is the E sound. E. In bleu, bleu, blue. When you see EU, you will have to make the sound E. Don't forget about this one. The following one is the sound not it's You can see a small difference between the previous one, which was and this one, which is okay? For example, beurre. It's not beurre, it's beurre. Or we have œuf, œuf, and not œuf. So œuf. It's a really small difference. If you can make it right now, it's okay. It's gonna take some time, but keep practicing. And the last one, it's the letter E by itself that will make the same sound as EU, and it will make the sound E. For example, when you try to say the in French, you will say le. Okay? So E, U, and the letter E make the same sound in French. E. Alright, part 2 now of the basic French sounds, the nasal sounds. So here, pay attention. So matin, as you can see, matin, the IN make the sound un. Okay? Un, like number 1, un. Rond, don, and ton, as you can hear it, all sound like en. So AN, EN, and EM make the sound en. The following one is un. As you can see in the word bon, ON make the sound un, and in the word nombre, OM make the sound on. And the last one, lundi and humble, the un sound is back again, but this time is with UN and UM. Okay? Note that UN and UM both together make the sound un. We're almost done, okay? Hang with me. Here we are going to work on some sound that should be pronounced very lightly. The P sound, nice and easy, repeat after me, is P, P, in pa, 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 pa. You can see a little bit of hair going out of your mouth. Pa, pa. The T sound, same thing here. Terre, terre, or T. You can see a little bit of air again coming out of your mouth. And then you have the K sound that's either going to be pronounced in the letters C or Q. For example, col, col, or qui, qui. So if you see a C or a Q, make sure you're pronouncing it like a K. Alright? So for the next one, you will see that these sounds are pronounced a little different from English. For the first one, we have the word jambe and the word gorge, which means leg and throat. So here you will see that the E is almost silent and that only the letter before the E will be pronounced. For example, jambe, jambe. My mouth is making the B sound and not the E sound. And gorge, gorge. Here, the J sound is pronounced and not the E. Alright? Next one is the L sound. So, lune, lune, or soleil, soleil. So you're making like a L with your tongue. Oh, and here we have everyone's favorite, the R sound. R. I'm just kidding. It doesn't need to be that aggressive. So here, for the example, we're going to take riz and cuire. So, riz and cuire. When you're making the R sound, it's almost like you need to have a smile on your face. Riz, riz, and cuire, cuire. Okay? Try to at the beginning, it's going to be a little hard for you to make the R sound, but it's okay. It takes some practice. So don't be afraid to try and don't think that the French people will judge you for not pronouncing the R correctly. So now that we're done with the R sound, that is a little bit tricky, we'll talk about the nye sound that is formed with the J and the N. For example, in the words gagner, gagner, or in the word ligne, ligne. So the J and N make the sound nye, nye, nye together. Okay? So repeat after me one more time. Gagner, okay, to win, and ligne, a line. Well, now that we're done with some basic French sounds, I'll let Tom take over and talk about more pronunciation stuff. So, bonne chance!
Thank you so much, Alex, for helping us with our pronunciation. And now that you did the hard part of the lesson, let's have some fun together. Okay, so in French, you need to know there is liaison and elision. Okay, so a liaison and an elision are very important aspects of the French pronunciation. We're gonna start with the liaison because we talked about it so much during the master classes. So now I want you to be masters at it. Okay, so let's start. A liaison. Okay, you need to understand how words are linked together in French. Okay, so les amis, for example, the friends. Okay, so you heard me say les amis, right? Because here there is a liaison. Okay, the S in les is usually silent, but in a liaison it's pronounced like a Z. Okay, but that only happens when it's followed by a vowel sound. Okay, so here les amis, because there is the A, the vowel, it makes a vowel sound, so les amis. Okay, so the S of les becomes not silent anymore when there is a vowel or a vowel sound right after it. Okay, but that's happening with every single word that have a consonant and then a vowel sound. Okay, so for example, look at here, un homme. Okay, un homme, a man. The N here in un is usually silent, un. Okay, but in liaison, it's pronounced before the vowel sound. So un homme. Even though a H is not a vowel, okay, but it makes the vowel sound because H in French is almost always silent, okay? So homme, it's un homme. So homme is a vowel sound, okay, because of the O of homme, okay? So the same for hospital, okay? It's hôpital. The H in English is pronounced, but in French it's silent, so it becomes a vowel sound, okay? So here, un homme, okay? Pretty simple, un homme, okay? You got that? And then, for example, vous avez. Here again, you have. You heard me? Vous avez. What is happening here? The same as for les amis, okay? It's a liaison between the consonant and the vowel, okay? So the S in vous is pronounced when followed by a vowel sound. Here, A of avez. Vous avez. Vous avez. Okay, so let's go over it together. Repeat after me. Les amis. Les amis. Great job. Now, un homme. Un homme. Again. Un homme. Un homme. Great job. And the last one, vous avez. Vous avez. Okay, and now keep in mind that every time that you hear a vowel sound and there is a S, a N, any consonant before, then you're gonna make a liaison. Okay, the liaison is always gonna be there. And now you're probably wondering, what is an elision? So an elision is about the same thing, but instead of making the sound, you're gonna make two vowels disappear. Okay, so listen to that. Learn how to omit sound in connection with the rules of the French language. Here, the elision. Okay, so for example, the way that you would think that j'aime should be is je aime. Okay, because je, tu, il, nous, vous, il, elle. Okay, so you know that by heart now. But here, for example, because there is two vowels next to each other, we do not want to make it sound weird. Okay, in French, everything is about sounding. Okay, so je aime is pretty weird. So just get rid of the E, j'aime, and put a G apostrophe. Normally, you would think that there is a liaison there, but between je and aime. Okay, but here it's actually an elision. Okay, elision. The E in je is dropped and it becomes j'aime. Does that make sense? It is not je aime because of what? Because there is two vowels next to each other and we do not want to perturbate the ear. Okay, we want it to sound nice, so we take the E away to sound better. J'aime. Okay, j'aime. I like. J'aime. Sounds good? Okay, j'aime. The E is dropped in je. Pretty simple. Then you're gonna see another thing, okay? Ce est un ami. So here there is a liaison and an elision, okay? Ce est un ami. Ce est un ami. In French, no one will ever say that, okay? So it's c'est un ami. So here, c'est, because you're dropping the I in ce, okay, is dropped as an elision, okay? And then est un ami, there is two liaisons, okay? Un ami. C'est un ami. C'est un ami, okay? So one elision and two liaison here, okay? So here, take a look at it one more time. Ce est un ami. C'est un ami, okay? He is a friend. C'est un ami. The I in ce, okay, is dropped. Okay, it is dropped because of what? There is two vowels next to each other. And then, why does the sound T? Why is the T here not silent? Because there is a vowel behind it. Okay, so c'est un ami. Okay, c'est un ami. Okay, every time you see a vowel alone, okay, and that before there is a consonant, you go c'est un ami. You go with the liaison. And if you think and see that there is two vowels next to each other, that means that the first one should be dropped, and that's the elision, okay? So c'est un ami. And even when you write it, okay, because je aime is not correct. Ce est un ami is not correct. It's j'aime and c'est un ami. Great job. You mastered how to pronounce in French. I hope that you understood everything. If not, you can ask us any question that you want. Thank you so much for staying with us. Remember the liaison and elision on my part, okay? And have an amazing day or an amazing night, whatever time it is, wherever you are, okay? So, au revoir, bonne journée or bonne soirée. Au revoir!